Welcome back. So now we can actually get this file. When we chose a file, we can get a file right here and we can start using it and start storing it. So that's perfect, but we have to now start considering how do we actually want to store files for each of these products, because there's a lot of things to actually consider to even do that. Now we're using the angle of Firebase right now, so first of all we have to consider their data structure and how do we want to store data in Firestore. We also have to consider how do we want to name our files in the storage, and let's start there. Now we could name the files in the storage just like their name when you choose them. So for instance, if I go in here and choose a file like this, I pick this guy, I name him this inside Firestorage. But the problem is if somebody else goes and puts the exact same file in there, I'll have to consider, do I want to overwrite the file? Do I want to delete the file? What do I want to do? And if it's two different people, two different products with the same file name, like image1, that's a used name, a lot of people use that. Which one should I keep, right? Because all of a sudden a sock looks like a banana, right? That's a bad thing. So we have to kind of consider, do we want these names to be put inside Firestorage for the actual file name? Or do we want to do something different? And I want to do something different. I want to instead make a unique ID, just a unique ID. It doesn't matter, I'm not going to put any information about the image except that unique ID inside the actual name for the file. So think of it this way. Let's just go back to the database just to show you. I might call a file this. This is unique ID. So I might call a file IPCQ blah 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 blah. That's the name of the file, right? And then I'll store somehow all that information about the file. I'm going to store that somewhere else. Just to kind of show you how easy it is to kind of take out all the metadata for a file, we're actually going to go and create a file collection in here that's going to contain information about the file, going to generate a unique ID for the file, and then we're going to use all that information that we want to store about the file. We're going to put that inside this set of documents right here. Now actually Firestorage will help us do a lot of that out of the box, so we don't have to do it, but I'm going to do it because I want to show you the power of making your own file system like this, and that's why I want to move in that direction. Another choice I could have made is kind of what you see right here. I've decided just to show you that I could also have put the file information directly under the product, right? That would mean that I would give the product the name, for instance, like we already have, and then I would put an array just with all the pictures that belongs to the product. We could do that. But instead of just using the equal IDs for each of the images, I might just want to put in the entire metadata for each of the images. So think of it this way. This is image 1, here's the ID for that image, the name for the image, the type for the image, and this could also be a valid solution, right? Instead of having a files collection, I would put that information over here. But I think that I want to split them up because later on I'm going to try and build like a folder structure, and I might want to put files differently, and I might want to change files around, and that might give me a reason to kind of move these images out into their own collection, and that's why I'm going to do it. So we're going to, this lesson, I just want to give you guys the overview, but next lesson we're going to try and make a files collection. We're going to start making a files module, a file service, and we're slowly going to start to build up a way to kind of start working with these files inside Firebase. And the end result is going to be something like this. So let's just get rid of these maps we have right here. Instead, what I want to do is actually under the pictures, which is an array, let's actually get rid of that as well, just to show you the entire setup right here. What I'm going to end up doing is we're actually going to add a new field to each product. It's going to be called pictures. It's not going to be a string, it's actually going to be an array, and then each area in the array is just going to be a unique ID for each of those images, right? So this will just be unique IDs for the files that belong to this specific product. That's kind of the goal right here. So it's going to look like this. Look how simple that actually is compared to the map we had before. We're also going to end up having a files collection right here, and in that files collection, let's just try and add a field right here for file. So it's going to have an ID, right? The file is going to end up with an ID. It's going to be some kind of unique ID, and then actually I don't need that in here because that'll be auto-generated for me with the name. So it's going to have the size for the file maybe, so we'll put that in here. This will be kind of the metadata for the file. It's going to have the name of the actual file, so let's just put in a name. That could be image1 because that's used a lot. It could be the type of the file, like PNG or something like that, etc., etc. So this will be the metadata for the file, right? And then this unique ID I have right here, that's what I'm talking about. This unique ID will then be put inside the list of all these products right here. So this might be the first guy I just created. The unique ID here matches the name of the file, and also that unique ID is going to match the name over here in the storage. So that's kind of the entire setup right here. Let me just try and see if we can actually do that. I'll just add this, got it. And let's just try and upload the file right here. Now, I just renamed it. I just cheated a little bit and renamed it, but it's going to look like this right here inside. Notice I won't even put the PNG when I start doing it from code, but this is the file name right here. That's the unique ID I'm talking about. And that unique ID now references, or the other way around, the database files right here references that ID. So we have all the metadata about that image right here, and the product will then reference the same ID to know what pictures to actually belongs to what products. Perfect stuff. So that's the setup we're going to aim for. And yes, that's going to take a couple of videos, but then you guys also know how to make, in my mind, a proper upload of files. So that's it for this lesson. See you next time. Have fun.